If I was to ask you who are the two main specialist characters in Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4, most people would probably say Battery and Ruin. The reason for this is because most of the cutscenes in Black Ops 4 and most of the information in Black Ops 3 revolves around these two characters. Now, there's a reason why I saved these two characters for last, because both of their stories are pretty intertwined with each other. And today, as we look at Aaron Baker, aka Battery's story, you're going to begin to see why these two are pretty much the main characters in the story. There's a reason for it, and it actually explains a lot about the whole overarching Black Ops story. Speaking of which, as I mentioned, Battery and Ruin are the last two specialist characters I have to look at their stories, but I also have a lot of other plans to dive into other characters, including Frank Woods, Alex Mason, Savannah, and even some evil characters like Menendez or something like Reznov. So if you're interested in that, me diving into those older Call of Duty characters' backstories, simply hit that like button. If that's something you'd want to see and want to see more videos like these, simply hit that like button and it'll show me that you love these story videos and you'll want to see more. Also, before we dive into Battery's backstory, I just wanted to let you guys know that later today over on Twitch, I will be doing a live stream on Black Ops 4, doing an open lobby. So if you've ever wanted to play some Black Ops 4 with me, or you just want to check out the stream, it'll be the first link down in the description, and hopefully I see you there later today. And actually, if you're watching this video just a couple hours after this video comes out, I'm actually live right now. So like I said, hopefully I see you there. So normally in these videos, we start them by looking at that individual character's specialist story or cutscene from Black Ops 4. However, Battery's cutscene doesn't make sense unless you actually look at the full story for Black Ops 4. So Aaron Baker's story, aka Battery, begins on a Winslow Accord mission. At this point, these three characters are not part of the specialist group. They are not working for Savannah. They are working for the Winslow Accord. On this mission, you have Battery, Ruin, aka Donnie Walsh, and Jessica Mason Green, our suspected Spectre, as we've talked about in previous videos. Now, we are going to talk about later in this video Savannah's involvement in this cutscene, but as we find out, Jessica Mason goes into the building and ends up getting shot in the face, and afterwards, Battery ends up getting both of her arms shot off, her left arm and her right arm, and then is dragged away by Donnie Walsh, aka Ruin. At this point, these two characters aren't really close friends, they're not specialist characters, but after this, these two characters end up becoming very close, you could say being best friends. Also, in this cutscene, Jessica Mason Green is just kind of left there to die. So after this cutscene, after both of Battery's arms have been shot off, this is where Battery's cutscene comes in.
She was with Jessica! I need to know how she died!
If she goes under, there's no telling when, if ever, she'll come back.
Do it! Now!
It's too dangerous. She's weak. She might not make it through.
If she dies, we'll bring her back. We'll fix her. We fix everything. Even you. You'll make it. You will.
So holy crap, a lot to unpack there. First of all, the beginning of this cutscene. Battery is clearly dreaming at the beginning of this cutscene. She's being chased down in a trench by soldiers. She gets in a fight with one, punches him in the face, and then boom, her right arm has disappeared. This is of course a dream. She is dreaming after both of her arms have been shot off, and Savannah has come in, swooped in, and said, you know what, I'll spend the money, some of her trillions of dollars that Savannah has to save her. Now, there's an argument going on in this cutscene between Crash, aka the team doctor, and Savannah, talking about whether she's okay to go under or not. You may be wondering what this is about, and I was too, so I dug a little bit deeper and found exactly what this argument is about. So this scene right here is incredibly important. You may notice that the breathing tube is not going into Battery's mouth, but rather her neck. This is known as a tracheostomy. It's given to many patients, often when they have oral trauma, when someone's face or jaw is broken or their neck is swollen, and the doctors are unable to get an airway through the mouth, which is odd because there was no trauma to Battery's head. The other reason why doctors may do this is to actually be able to move a patient's head during surgery. But again, why would this need to be done if the surgery would be on Battery's arms? The answer is Savannah doesn't want to fix Battery arms. She wants to give Battery a direct neural interface, and in so allowing her to have prosthetic arms that work through the DNI. We know that this is accomplished because when we look at images of Battery in Black Ops 4, she has 2 prosthetic arms, but it is kind of unclear whether or not she has a DNI. You can see the headset that she's wearing is very similar to the headset that she wears in Black Ops 3 that is connected to her DNI, but obviously this headset in Black Ops 4 is not covering the normal spot where a DNI would be inserted on someone. So it's assumed that she has it in Black Ops 4, but it's not 100% clear. Now, there are 2 other questions that this cutscene brings up. The first of which is, why is Savannah so determined to save Battery? You have to remember that before this cutscene, Savannah had never met Battery before. They weren't friends, they weren't colleagues, yet Savannah really wants to save her. The question is, why?
You'll make it.
And the answer is that Savannah did this to her. Savannah may not be the one who pulled the trigger and shot off her arms, but she is the one that set it up. And throughout the story of Black Ops 4, Ruin and Battery, with the help of Jessica Mason, slowly figure this out.
Why didn't they finish us? We were sitting ducks. They quit firing, and 2 shots, bam, bam. Then, nothing.
This was all 2 years ago. Why now? What is it you're not telling me?
They play.
Listen to me very carefully. Watch your back. Everything you know is wrong.
So at the beginning there, Ruin brings up a really solid point. How come the soldiers that shot at them didn't just kill them? How come they just shot off both of Battery's arms and everything was hunky-dory after that? The answer is Savannah set the whole thing up. And this can actually be seen in one of the cutscenes in the story where Savannah revisits the scene of the crime.
Well, I can make him the best anyone has ever seen. This should never have happened.
As you can see at the very end there, she says this should never have happened because her original intention wasn't to kill Jessica Mason, it was just to injure her to the point where Savannah could heal her, fix her up, give her prosthetics, and in turn, control her. Similar to what she did with Battery, shooting both arms off, saving her. Of course, Battery is going to be loyal to her after saving her life. This is further exemplified when all of the specialists show up at Savannah's house, and the only character that stands up for Savannah is Battery.
Lighten up. She's the real deal.
As you can see, Battery showing off her new prosthetic arm and vouching for Savannah. So as we mentioned, Savannah did not want to kill Jessica, but thinks she accidentally did. As we know by the ending cutscene of the story, Jessica is alive and well and steals back all of the specialist characters from Savannah. But the question is, why did Savannah want to do this to Jessica? It is because Jessica was against everything that Savannah stood for. Her medical research, her research into resurrecting people. Jessica was against it all. But if Savannah could control her after saving her life, then that would no longer be a problem. An example of her talking about the resurrection ability that Savannah has is when Battery is laying on the operating table there, she mentions, if Battery dies, we'll just bring her back to life, aka the resurrection we talked about before.
If she dies, we'll bring her back. We'll fix her.
So Savannah's whole idea here is to build her own super army of super soldiers called specialists by giving them something they couldn't previously have, whether that's prosthetics like Prophet, or whether that's saving their life like Battery. This is shown at the very end of this cutscene when Savannah says this to Crash.
We fix everything. Even you.
Alright, so what the hell does that mean? What did Savannah fix for Crash? Well, as we know from doing Crash's backstory, Crash's biggest problem was with gambling. He had an addiction to gambling, and he basically built up debt with a ton of terrible people, mobsters, debt collectors, and essentially, Savannah gave him the money to pay that back. She paid off his debts in return for his service. So in other words, Crash is totally in Savannah's pocket. So eventually in the story, when Ruin and Battery find out that Savannah caused this because of Jessica Mason Green, they eventually turn on her, and Jessica brings all of the specialist characters together to fight against her. However, you may notice that one of the characters who is missing from this scene is Crash. And that could very well be because of what we just talked about, the fact that he is still stuck in Savannah's pocket, whereas these other characters are just so mad at her at what she did to them, like Battery, they turn on her. But ladies and gentlemen, that is Battery's backstory. That is how she fits into the Black Ops 4 storyline. That is how she ends up working for Jessica Mason Green alongside Ruin. That is how she got her prosthetic arms. Hopefully you enjoyed this story. It's definitely one of my favorites, one of the funnest to piece together, even though that's not a word. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, like I mentioned before, it would be awesome if you could hit that like button, and it shows me that you want to see more videos like this one. Also, let me know down in the comments what you think of this story. Did I miss anything? Is there something I should add in a future video? Let me know down in the comments. And if you're new to the channel and want to stay up to date on all of my videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn notifications on, as it is the best way to stay up to date on all of my videos. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace out.
We are reaching for the